Hi, I'm Weston Drake. I'm a member of the Twin River Tornadoes. I have just completed my freshman year of high school. I love farming and I enjoy everything about it. I love driving the tractors and helping with the livestock around my family farm. This summer, my dad had to get surgery on his shoulder, and I've had some neighbors experience some health issues that did not allow them to do their own hay. I've had to help around a lot this summer between our farm and our neighbors' farms. This summer, I've had to step up as a 15-year-old boy and take care of the responsibilities of doing the haying for my family and my neighbors. The goal for my project is to hit the main factors of hay production and how it is produced, learn how to run different types of equipment and make my own repairs, learn how the custom haying business works, learn how haying markets can fluctuate and move around, and how this stuff can lead to a future career in the ag field. So as a producer, I have learned some things about forage and how this can help, and as a custom hayer too. Whenever you're custom haying for someone, you got to know what your field is like and what it is going to be like and how you want to cut it, because again, it's not your hay and it's somebody else's, so you have to maybe value it a little bit more and make sure that you do a good job while doing it. As a producer side of it, you have to know when you want your best nutritional value, like when to cut it, when to bale it, how dry it needs to be. So therefore, you're getting the max value out of the feed that you are giving to your livestock. Here I have some different types. We have a grass and clover mix here. This is usually what we will find in the pastures. Pasture grass is usually different than from your alfalfa that I have here. The alfalfa, as you can see, is starting to bloom. Usually you want to catch it in the bud stage, like this part here. As you can see, the buds are just starting to come in. This is probably your best nutritional point of the plant when you want to cut it. Here on this field, we have an alfalfa field. It's about 40 acres here. Usually, as you can see, this stuff has already bloomed out, but in this case, that is okay, because as you can see here in front, there is also a grass mix along with this field. So you kind of have to find the happy medium between the two, because if you cut your alfalfa in its budding stage, your grass will not be grown up and mature. This is very important in like first cutting hay, because this is when everything is very thick and dense and you're going to get the most bales out of your field. When you're mowing hay, there's all sorts of different kinds of mowers out there. You can have a disc mower, a disc bine, a hay bine. Different brands, everybody's got their own technique. But what makes them different is the way they cut the hay. And you might just think, oh, it just cuts it down. But some have rollers on the back that may crimp the hay, like hence here. This is a normal piece of grass that hasn't been cut. The stalk is just nice and stiff. Here, no breaks, nothing in it. A little flimsy here at the end. Compared to this one here, where you can tell that the rollers have clamped it down and broke it. By breaking this stalk open, it allows air to flow through the stalk more, creating less dry time. When mowing hay, some of the things I've learned are that you can't just pull into the field and just start cutting it. You have to think about it and how you want to lay the field off. Usually I start with my end rows, get the basic layout of the field and how big and stuff and where all your ditches and stuff are. And like over here, over in the back, you look at that and it's on a downhill slope. Whenever mowing hay, you don't want to go up and down the hill. You want to go across the hill. Because then, whenever you come into bale, you have to think about how is that bale going to come out of that baler. Also in mowing, you want to consider, how am I going to rake this? Because usually a rake will take two of your windrows and put them together into one. So to have enough turning space for you mowing, or the mower, and the raker and the baler, you got to have enough turning space at the end of your rows. So like I said, it is very important to think about whenever you are mowing on how the field starts and how it ends. From how the mower lays the grass down till the final bale is baled. One of the most important things I've learned and another part of being a farmer is you got to be your own weatherman. Because some days, Mother Nature might just not work with you very well. Here, I mowed this hay the other night, and now, no rain in the forecast. It's supposed to be just fine. Today, this morning, before I came out to finish mowing up, it rained a 1/4 inch on this hay. That can also decrease the value of your hay, just the quality of it. But last week, we also received 5 inches of rain. As you can see, some of this hay down here, it's nice, lush, and green still because it's been sitting on the bottom. And since we had that 5 inches last week, the ground is still moist. This can also impact your dry time of your hay because while the top looks nice and dry, your bottom might still be wet from the moisture coming up from the ground. Another big chunk of our haying operation is our equipment. This is our baler. Our baler is probably our biggest factor of our haying operation. While learning to do the baler, you have to know how to drive a tractor. And everybody thinks that driving a tractor, oh, it can't be that bad, it's not that hard. The thing is can you be a good operator while operating the tractor? That means paying attention to the equipment, learning and understanding how it works, and knowing how to fix it when it is broke. The first thing we had to start off with is knowing how to hook up the baler. Our hydraulics and everything, you gotta know which inlets to put them into so your levers will run the right part of the baler. You also have to learn how to hook up your monitor and how to set your monitor. Each baler has a different monitor of its own. You want to learn how to run your monitor correctly because if your monitor is messed up, you are not going to make good bales. That includes net density, the size of your bale, and everything else. Going next on the baler is learning how to maintenance it. Everywhere you might see these little points on the baler in all sorts of places. These usually appear in most places where anything is turning or moving. These are grease zerts. Grease zerts are where you pump grease in with a grease gun to make sure that your stuff is staying lubricated, and because if it's not lubricated, then it tends to break. Another thing to do is lube your chains. It is very important to do this to keep chains moving and smoothly, because if chains don't get lubed, they can tend to rust and get tight. That can cause chains to break, and if your chain breaks, nothing in this baler will run. A lot of these chains intersect. Off this roller here, you can see that it runs this chain and also this main drive chain. These 2 chains drive your main 2 rollers. These are the ones that turn all the belts in the baler. A lot of the other rollers are just idler rollers. They just turn, but they don't drive the baler. While in the middle of the field while working, you can also have breakdowns. One breakdown I had this summer was I had chains break. This can cause a calamity of messes because this chain had broke, but it also caused this chain to go bad and this idler arm to go bad, which keeps the chain tight. I also had a hydraulic hose break which runs behind everything. Everything has to be set back in its place and tightened up right to make sure it runs smoothly again. If you have too much slack in a chain, it can cause the chain to fall off. If you have it too tight, the chain might break due to the stress. Hydraulic hoses. You want to make sure they are tucked back in their proper places like they were before to make sure that they do not get caught in the chains. These ones right here tend to be really long because they run around to the front. They can also run all the way back to the back. Speaking of the back, let's work our way back there. Coming to the back side of the baler, you will notice that there's rubber belts. This is the main part of the baler that helps turn the bale and condense it. Our pickup here picks up the hay from the windrow and it spreads it out evenly. This is your starting roller and this is one of your idler rollers. While your bale forms, it will start to hit these belts. Your belts are what keeps your bale nice and condensed. If you have a tighter bale, then it is considered nicer quality. And then while the bale is forming and when it gets full, our net wrap up top there, it will shoot down with these ribs right here. It will follow these ribs and be taken by the belt. The belts will also help wrap the bale, because as the belts are going around the bale, it'll take that net wrap and lay it around. Then, with the ramp here, it'll drop down and then the tailgate will open, dropping the bale out on the ground. We value having to repair our own equipment because this helps keep our costs down and helps us learn more about our equipment. This is very important because stuff tends to get very pricey in today's economy, along with parts and everything else. So if it can be fixed on our own time without having somebody have to come pay them to fix it, then we can fix it ourselves and not have to pay that for it. So here we are at our haystack. This is kind of where all of our finished products come, the hay bales after mowing, raking, and baling. Here we stack them in rows. Usually the rows will keep the ends nice and keep them out of the elements so they stay nice and preserved. We wrap ours with net wrap. You can also do twine. Net wrap we found is better at kind of shedding some of the rain off whenever it comes down. Whenever we stack our hay bales, we tend to keep a good amount of space in between them, because whenever we feed our cows in the winter, we have a bale bed on the back of a truck to unroll the hay, so you need more room for the arms to get in there and grab the hay bale out of the row. You can grab it with the bale bed. You will stick a prong on each side in the center of the bale, and you'll set it on the ground, and it almost just unrolls back into its windrow. As you can see here, whenever that baler takes it up, you can start to see kind of how it is rolled up. And then in the winter time, whenever we unroll them, it'll go the opposite way and just leave a bale width of a path of hay. All right, so this is my employer, David. He had me bale his hay all summer and do some of his haying for him while he's been laid up. David, I wanted to ask you, what was it like having me as your employee, or your, I guess, yeah, just employee?
Employee, helper, or whatever. Well, it's been fun. It's been interesting, and I know you know how to handle equipment, so that makes a lot of difference. I don't have to take a lot of time to teach you to do that or whatever. So, but you run my mower conditioner, you've been running my tedder, and you've been baling my hay, and you got it all picked up. So, and the only thing you have a problem with the baling, and you want to edit this out. Some of your bales are this tall, and some of them are this tall.
A little wonky.
That's first year experience thing, I think. So
yeah. My second question I wanted to ask you was, why do you think it's important to have kids like my age or younger or above have this experience?
Well, if we don't have younger kids coming on, sooner or later, you know, it may go by the wayside. So by somebody younger coming on, then you know somebody is interested, and it takes time and money to get into farming, get started, obviously, and by helping others and learning and being able to, you know, like come and help, why then you do learn and may have the ability to take over someday. So.
Yep. Well, thank you, David. I appreciate your time.
You're welcome.
Having me as your employee.
Okay, appreciate it.
For closing, I just figured a video write-up would be the easiest way to show you as a judge and everyone how good it could be, because you can't always see everything in just pictures and photos, and sometimes I just got to take you along with me. This project's been a really tiring one, but great for the rewards that it's given me on how to do things. Long days and long nights go into this project. I really got to learn a lot more about hay production since my dad kind of stepped down a little bit, and he showed me a lot. I've learned how to do a lot of equipment repairs on my own since my dad hasn't been able to be there to help me. I've learned a lot about the custom haying business, so much as like writing down hours and learning how to bill customers and getting those relationships made between people. I've also learned a lot about hay markets. It's been a pretty wet spring so far, so nobody's really in need of hay, but you never know how this winter might go, and there might be a high demand for it later. And I really hope to take a lot of this knowledge into a future career in the ag field. I believe next summer I'm going to try and get my hands in the dirt and try and get a hold of a little bit of land to maybe start some row crop. I also plan on starting a land improvement business with our skid loader and a couple attachments, and I just really hope that this will work out for me. Thank you for coming with me today and letting me show you how it is this summer.
I just want to plant something and watch it grow. Girl, you make me want to buy the farm. 80 acres and a big red barn, a little tin roof house with a wraparound in the daisies, so I can wave at you and our babies while I work the land, getting that real deal farmer's tan, living that green John Deere dream every dusk till dawn, with the radio on, singing you tractor songs.